Okay, everyone. So in yesterday's session, we have seen different loops, different decision statements, and break and continue statement as well. So today we are going to see the switch statement. What is the use of switch statement and how will you use it? Okay. So exactly what do you know about switch statement? Anyone? What do you know about switch statement?
Used for multiple actions. We are having one condition with multiple actions.
Yes, we can say that. Okay, so we have done one program here with the help of if-else if statements, right? So if-else if statements, here we are checking multiple conditions. A is equal to 0, A is less than 0, or A is greater than 0. And this is if-else if conditions if you are checking for the predefined inputs. You can say, you know that you are going to get inputs and those are predefined. Suppose in a calculator, we perform the operations like plus, minus, multiplication, division, and percentage. Okay, not modulus. In calculator, we use percentage, correct? So all these operations are fixed. You are not going to change anything for those, right? So you know that these operations are fixed. So the input will be any of these four operators, 4 or 5 operators. That time, instead of writing the if-else if statements, instead of writing the conditions using if-else if statement, you can replace those using switch statement. Okay? Where we are going to create different cases with the given constant, or you can say predefined inputs, or you know the inputs which we are going to get for your program. So the syntax for the switch statement is switch. We need to pass some parameter to this. Okay, that will be the input for your switch case. We are going to create different cases. The default case is the one. Okay, what is that? We will see. First case, constant 1. Case 2, constant 2. You can give for constants, we can use integer numbers, use characters. Yes.
जरूरत तो है मुझे एक फोन की और
Sorry, Ali, I don't get your question. Okay, so constants can be integer values, it can be float values or double values, it can be characters, it can be string values. Okay, previously we were not able to use strings, but now the switch case, we can add for cases, we can add strings also. Okay, the case should match for the strings. That means if you are searching for the lowercase values, then it must have the lowercase. Okay, so these are the different data types, values you can use for these case constants. In that case, whatever the code you want to execute, in that you are going to write here the code to be executed if this n is equals with this constant 1. So what happens? First, that input goes to your switch case expression. The case constant 1 is inputted. Then this switch case statement 1 with the case constant 1 gets executed. If it is true, then the statement for the first case executed. If it is false, then the next switch case is checked. Okay, the condition is checked basically. If it is true, again the second case will get executed. If it is false, if no matching condition is found, then your default case will get executed. Okay, so last, if nothing doesn't match with any cases, then your default case will get executed. Yes, Ali, we can. Okay. And after the execution of switch statement, the next line of code gets executed, same as the if and else statements, for loop statements. That is the sequential execution. So why we use cases? When you know that you need, when you know whatever the input you are going to get, that is fixed for our calculator, plus, minus, multiplication, division. Similarly, suppose you are typing, you go to any restaurant, right? They have a menu. In that menu, they have written 1 for idli, 2 for some dosa, right? So they just give the input that 1. Order is 1. That means internally they understand that we are ordering idli, right? So these are numbers given to the each menu item. Similarly, we are expecting that we will get some input values, and those values are fixed. Those can be integer, those can be double values, those can be character values or string values. All these are fixed values, and we will get those values as input. So directly, instead of writing if-else statements for each and every part, we can directly use switch case statement, so that matching case directly gets executed, and we are using break statement in the switch case, because after the execution of case 1, the execution should stop. It should not execute all the cases till the default one. Okay, that's why we are using, after each and every case statement, we are using break statement to stop the execution. We will see one example of the switch statement. So same as I said, calculator program, I am expecting plus, minus, multiplication and division operations. Okay, if I use if statement, so I need to check, okay, here we need to use the user inputs. We need to show user some menu items. Okay, and from that menu item, user will select operation. You have performed these tasks everywhere. Most of the thing you are performing. Select A, B, C, D. Select 1, 2, 3, 4 values are there. 1 for balance inquiry, 2 for recharge वगैरह आपको दिखता है, right? So you need to select one operation. Similarly, here we need to show what operations you are going to perform and what input you are going to use. Okay, so सबसे पहले हम यहाँ पे one statement we will show calculator. So here I am going to use integer values. Okay, system.out.println. I am going to show 1 for addition. I am showing user this menu, 1 for addition, 2 for subtraction, /n, 3 for multiplication, /n, 4 for division. I'm going to perform only these 4 operations. Okay, so the user will see these are the menu items, and we will ask user to enter one, select one operation. Okay, so here I am showing select operation. So when you are using this select operation, that means we are expecting user to enter 1, 2, 3 or 4, these any one from these 4 integer values. Okay, so now here we are going to see how to take user inputs, because user is going to give the input for this operation, right? So for user inputs, we have 2 operations. Okay, सबसे पहले we can use command line argument also. We can take the user inputs with the help of with the help of command line arguments, and second one is using scanner class. Okay, using scanner class. So user input we can take in 2 ways. First, command line argument, and using scanner class. This is for user inputs. First one is, in this example, we are going to use the second way, that is scanner class. Okay, we will see separate program for the command line argument. So user inputs means user is going to give the input. You are the user of calculator of your mobile. You are the user of WhatsApp of your mobile, right? जो भी मोबाइल में आपका WhatsApp है, Telegram है, LinkedIn है, जो भी है होगा, उसका आप user हो. You enter the details, right? Similarly, whoever is going to use this application of yours, that will become your user, And that is why we need to show this details to the user to select one operation. We need to show this that please enter something, whatever expected value is, okay? And then we will take that as a user input. Now, the scanner is the class inside java.util package. Scanner is the class which is inside java.util package. You can see the first line of this program. This is inside the package java.util. This is a library file. Okay. This is a predefined. जब आप जावा इंस्टॉलेशन करते हो तब आपको ये फाइल बाय डिफॉल्ट मिलता है, आपको कहीं से लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. So this is a scanner class. We use this scanner class for file reading purpose, file writing purpose, console reading, console writing purpose also. ठीक है. So scanner class का हम multiple way में use कर सकते हैं. First one is we can use it for taking inputs from the user. We can read the files using scanner class. We can write the files using scanner class. We can write the data on the console using scanner class. But अभी के लिए सिर्फ हम user input कैसे लेना है using scanner class, that we will see. So scanner has one constructor. Okay. What is constructor? That we are going to see in the later sessions. Okay. So scanner has a constructor. One second. Yes. So here, this scanner has a constructor where we are going to pass input stream reference. Okay. So for input stream reference, how we are going to use this input stream reference for taking input from the user or from the console, that we will see. So we need to first create the object of the scanner class because we are referring that class and we want to use some methods of these classes. So अगर आपको कुछ methods use करने हैं कोई भी class के, then या फिर कोई भी members आपको access करना है, then you need to create the object of that class. Okay. So here we are going to create the object of scanner class. Scanner. You can give any name. Scanner. I am going to give here input as a name. That is a meaningful. When you are creating the object, we need to use new keyword. And then the constructor name, that is scanner here, and the input stream reference we need to use. So we want to give the input into the console, right? Because we are getting output on the console itself and we will be giving input on the console itself. That's why we are going to use here system.in. Okay, system.in. Now you can see here you are getting error. What is that error? Scanner cannot be resolved. What type? Because in the module 4 package, the scanner class is not there. Where the scanner class is inside java.util package. That is why we need to import this class first to use all the functionalities of this class. So we will add here import statement. After the package statement, we use import statement java.util dot. We need to use scanner. Okay, so here we are importing a single class. This is importing single class. एक ही क्लास को इंपोर्ट किया है. इंपोर्ट स्टेटमेंट कब एग्जीक्यूट होता है? जब आप ये नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट्स यूज करते हैं उस क्लास को लोड करके रखता है JVM फॉर द फर्दर ऑपरेशंस वी आर गोइंग टू परफॉर्म इन आवर प्रोग्राम. ठीक है, जो भी नेक्स्ट ऑपरेशंस हम परफॉर्म करेंगे, दोस कैन बी एनीथिंग. यू आर एक्सेसिंग मेंबर्स, variables, methods, anything from that class. Then we need to first load that class into JVM. Then only the JVM will understand that we need to use or we are using these functionalities of that class. That is why we need import statement. Okay. So mostly we prefer to import a single resource. Okay. Single class, single interface we are using in this way. If you are using multiple classes, multiple interfaces from the util package itself, then we go for the second import statement like this, import java.util.star. Okay, this is used to import all classes, interfaces, everything. Interfaces, enums. from util package. Okay, but this will goes as it is because हम इसका यूज नहीं कर रहे हैं, मल्टीपल नहीं है कोई भी, ठीक है, ओनली स्कैनर क्लास वी आर यूजिंग, दैट्स व्हाई दिस इंपोर्ट स्टेटमेंट इज नीडेड, दिस इज नॉट नीडेड, ठीक है, इसको आप स्किप कर सकते हो, इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट यू कैन डायरेक्टली यूज द नेम ऑफ दैट क्लास, इंटरफेस और enum. Now we have created the object of this. Now here this is the system class. Everything related to the Java systems is here in this system class. We are using system.out.println statement, right? So system.out.println statement, system is a class, out is the member of the system class, that is print stream member, which will give you the output. Okay, similarly in is the input stream member, or you can say input stream reference, which is used to take the input. This is the standard input stream. This stream is already open and ready to supply input data. Similarly, ये standard output stream है जो हम out use करते हैं, right? And this print stream has the println method. Okay, that is why this println method we are using for printing out the data. It has multiple print methods. Okay, that is write methods are there, print methods are there, and println method is also there. We are using the println method. This is a default one. This is basically the method of print stream class. Okay, java.io.printstream. But this we cannot directly accessing this. We are accessing this using the system classes reference out. Okay, here in this class system.out.println, that is nothing but system is a class, out is a member of reference of the print stream which is defined in the system class, and println is the method of the print stream class which is we are using for printing out the data as the standard output stream. Okay, here we are using system.in to take the input from the user. From the system class we are using in input stream reference to take, it will supply the input data. It is ready to take the input from the user keyboard input. Okay, so here you can see to the keyboard input or another input source also, agar aap file se bhi kar sakte ho. Okay, so this is we are using for setting the data. Here this is the by default method gets called to set the values whatever you are setting directly using this input stream. Now the scanner class has some methods. The methods are next int, next byte, next long, okay, next method. And so these are different methods which are used to take the inputs based on the data type. Okay, so these methods are defined here in the scanner class. Scanner class has all these next methods with the data type. Okay, so this is a next int method. This is used to read or scan the next token of integer type. Okay, so this is used to take the input of integer type. Similarly, we have methods like so has next long name. Next long is the method which is used to take the long inputs. Okay, so these are the different methods which are we are using taking the inputs for different types of data. So next boolean is the method for boolean data type, as you can see the name here. Okay, next method is that which is used for taking string input, but this method will take input until space occurs. Okay, that means this method will take the input till the space occurs. जब आपका space आएगा input में तो next method उतना ही token लेगा, उसके आगे का data वो नहीं लेगा. ठीक है, if you want to read the complete string, then we have a method next line which is used to read complete line of input. Okay, complete line of input. So it can be of string type, integer type, byte type, anything. So you can use this next line method to read complete line. Okay, full line of data, full line of जो भी आपका input है उसका. If you want to read the character, then we have to use the next method itself, and we have to use caret method. This caret method we will see in the character. Okay, sorry, string. So this caret method will read the character present at the 0th index, that is first index. Okay, so this is used to read character input. Okay, so we are taking the input from the user with the help of scanner class. I have explained you all these methods. Okay, we have the methods next float also for float, next double for taking double input. Okay, so these are different types of methods. Short ka bhi hai, boolean hai, long hai, everything is there. You can use this. Only for the string input we use next method. For character input you need to use next dot caret 0, and next line is used to take the input, that is a complete line of data. Okay, now here we are expecting 1, 2, 3, 4 input from the user. That's why I will add this everything above the code. Okay, this input is nothing but the input stream reference, right? So this stream is open and ready to supply. So at the end of, after completion of your taking inputs, you must close this stream. That's why we have to use at the end of your program, always close this stream using the close method of scanner. ठीक है, ये stream आपको close करनी पड़ती है. If you open this stream multiple times and you keep open, then you may get some errors for opening that stream in the next time. ठीक है, आपको कुछ error आ सकता है, exception आ सकते हैं. So best way to always close that stream immediately at the end of your program. This is inside the main method itself. Okay, main method के ही block में मैंने at the last statement I have added close method को call किया है of using the object. Now all these methods of scanner class we have to access using this object input. So we are expecting integer. That's why we will first take one, create one variable integer choice, and we will read it using input dot next int. Next int. Okay, so this next int method will get called and it will be ready for taking input for this first operation or whatever the operation the user is entering. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Okay, now this choice will go as a input to our switch case. So we use here switch. Inside the brackets, we are going to pass this choice variable. So whatever the operation user has selected, that will pose as an input to the switch case. Okay, now we will perform the different operations based on the cases. Okay, so first case, what we have said, the for first case we are going to perform addition, right? So for performing addition, we first need to use inputs, 2 numbers, right? So we will take 2 numbers from the user as a input. Okay, so we will take here system.out.println. Please show the proper message, because multiple times what happens, student never show the proper message to the user and the system is halted for taking the input, and at that time आपको समझ में नहीं आता है कि एग्जैक्टली क्या रॉन्ग हो रहा है, प्रोग्राम एग्जीक्यूट क्यों नहीं हो रहा है. तो मेक श्योर दैट यू आर एंटरिंग द करेक्ट इनपुट स्टेटमेंट. एंटर फर्स्ट नंबर. You can use first number itself or both numbers at a time also. I am entering 2 different numbers in 2 different variables we will save. Suppose this is a number 1. Okay, and this is of integer type I am going to take. That's why we will use input dot next int method. Again, I will display the same message, enter second number, number 2. Now here I can use the next line method also. ठीक है, तो उसको use कैसे करना है वो भी दिखाती हूँ. If you are using the next line method, that will always return string input dot next line method. Next line method always return string. ठीक है, you can see it returns string data. So that string data you need to be converted or passed into integer because we are storing into integer. So that typecasting we have seen, right? But for the string and integer or any other data type, that is double, int, byte, long, for these data types, we have to parse the input into the appropriate data type. Okay. So for that, we use integer class. We have seen the integer class, wrapper class. It has a method parse int. It takes the string input and converts that string input to the appropriate data type. That is, we are using parse int method. That means it is converting this string input into integer. Okay. So parse int method, you can say, parses the string input into integer. Okay. So similarly, if you want to take the double input, okay, and if you want to store that input is in string format and you want to convert that into the appropriate double data type, then we have a method double dot parse double. Okay, double class has the method double dot parse double. Okay, so this is used to parsing the string data into the specified data type, that is double. ठीक है, तो ऐसे ही float में भी है, बाकी सारे classes में भी है. We are using here integer dot parseInt method. I have explained the double dot parse double method also. After taking the input from the user, 2 numbers, we will display this menu and we will ask user to select one operation. So here I will add, just to differentiate, I will add one line. After the user is adding this, selecting any operation from this. So for first operation, we are going to perform addition. So the addition will be performed on these 2 numbers. So system.out.println, I am directly calculating the addition and displaying it. Addition of the 2 numbers we will add, plus number 1 plus appending number 2 value as well. After that, I want to append equal to sign, and after that I want to show the calculated value. You can use the third variable also, or you can directly do this addition also. Okay. After this first addition statement, case 1 for addition we have created. We will use break statement. Okay. Similarly, we will perform the subtraction. For case 2 will be the subtraction. Duplicate cases are not allowed. Case name should be, or case constant should be unique. Okay. We are performing subtraction in the case 2. अगर user enter करता है 2, तो आपको subtraction perform करना है. ठीक है. That is why here we are performing subtraction of number 1 minus number 2. We will directly calculate that here. Number 1 minus number 2. Okay. Then break statement. Case 3 will be for multiplication. Multiplication. Here we are calculating multiplication. Number 1 multiplied by number 2. Okay. Here I will add the multiplication sign. Last case, case number 4, for division. Division. I am going to divide number 1 divided by number 2. So I will change the here. Okay, if user enters anything apart from 1 to 4, it can be any number apart from the 1 to 4, then this default case gets executed. So you have to just say that enter correct, or you can say select correct operation. Select correct operation. This is nothing but you can say a simple message, error message we are showing to the user. You can take that, but the values we are expecting are one number. Okay, if you are adding here, I will show you that. Okay, if you are showing the user in that way, क्योंकि यूजर को जो दिखता है वही यूजर एंटर करेगा, करेक्ट. आपको ऐसे नहीं होता है कि आपने यहाँ पे 1 दिया है एंड यू आर क्रिएटिंग द केस फॉर 1, you are creating the case for 1 in string. The system will never understand because user is entering 1 as a number. Okay, because user can see this data which is shown to the console. ठीक है, जो आपको user को दिखा रहे हैं उसी में से user enter करेगा, right? If you have gone through any IVR, so it asks to enter 1 for particular purpose, right? Enter 1, enter 9 for customer support, right? So आप वहां पे 9 टाइप करके तो नहीं डालते ना, you enter 9 number, correct? So that is why that 9 number will connect to the customer care. You can do that, but for that user will be able to see what is expected. Okay, I will show you that in the next switch case. Okay, so now we will execute this as a Java application. So here now you can see this execution is hold for entering the first number. Okay, now you have to enter first number. जब तक आप enter नहीं करोगे, your program will never go forward. Okay, so you can see here this red light. That means your program is in running state right now. Unless and until you will not give any input, it will be always in the running state. Okay. So for the second number, it is showing me the number format exception for the string because I have used next line here. Okay, so whenever you are using next int and then the next line for taking the input for the integer, it gives you problem. Okay, next int के बाद आप directly string नहीं ले सकते. So you can replace this with the same statement, or you can replace this with the next int also. So I will simply comment this code, and we will use next int because after integer for taking string input, we may need to add one more line of code. क्यों करना पड़ता है that I will explain. अभी के लिए सिर्फ ये एग्जांपल हम एग्जीक्यूट करके देखते हैं, फिर मैं बताती हूँ क्यों करना पड़ता है. Execute, enter first number, enter second number. Okay, now this message is shown to the user. Okay, this menu is shown to the user. Now we are saying that select the operation. So if we are showing the menu item 1, 2, 3, 4, then the user must enter the value from these 4 only. Okay, so if मैंने 1 enter किया, so we are getting the addition of the numbers. Okay, now again I will execute. I will enter 2 numbers, and suppose apart from these 4, I will enter 9 value. Then it will always give you the default statement, select correct operation. जो आपने पूछा था अली, for that purpose, if I enter the values, the user is seeing, you are the user of this application. Okay, you are seeing here 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you enter 1, then it will give you input mismatch. Okay, because we are expecting integer value. So if you want to do in that way, you just need to display the things here. Menu item जो रहेगा वो आपको proper में दिखाना पड़ेगा. You can use A for addition, you can use B for subtraction, you can use C for multiplication, you can use D for division. If this is the case, then you can perform the operations. Like I will only show you how to write the case 1 for this. Okay. So you can use the same choice, select operation, choice. Okay. But here choice will be in the character format because we are showing the user ABCD characters. Okay. That's why we need to take the choice of character type. And for taking the character, you need to use next dot character 0th index. So it will read the 0th index character. Okay. And this you can pass to the switch case as CH. Okay. Now here the case will be like this. Case A or case small case A. Okay, so here case A and case A I am combining. So if user enters in the uppercase letter or the user can enter lowercase letter also. So we are combining the cases in this way for the character input. So it matches with the case and it will get executed. If you are showing this 1, 2, 3, 4 and you are creating the cases like this, it will never get executed because we are whatever the user is able to see, only the user will select from that value, right? अगर user को ABCD दिखाया है तो user 1, 2, 3, 4 डालेगा तो वो नहीं आएगा. अगर user ABCD डालेगा तो ही आपको आउटपुट आएगा, correct? So वैसे ही जो आपको दिखता है उसी में से सिलेक्ट करना होता है. So based on whatever you are showing the user, you need to create the cases based on that. So you can use, if you want to use 1 here as a string, you can use that also. ठीक है. केस के लिए आप स्ट्रिंग भी डेटा यूज कर सकते हो, कैरेक्टर यूज कर सकते हो, इंटीजर यूज कर सकते हो, एनीथिंग. अंडरस्टूड? Ali, any more doubt? Understood? So instead of this A, you can use add, you can use subtract, you can use multiplication, you can give full name also. But whatever the menu you are showing, whatever the operations data you are showing to the user, from that itself the user is going to give you the input. Okay, उसी में से data select होगा. That's why you need to select or you need to show it in an appropriate way. Okay, you cannot show this data and create this type of cases. You have to create the cases in an integer way itself because we are expecting integer input. Here we are showing for ABCD. That means we are showing that we are expecting character input. So we are creating the cases based on character. Similarly, अगर आपने string data दिया है, that means add for addition, sub for subtraction, MUL for multiplication, and DIV for division. If you are using this type of names, showing the user this type of names, then we have to take string input, string S as an input. We can take, we will use next method because the space will occur. Okay, after the add, space से पहले जो भी data है वो हमें read करना है. ठीक है, so I am using next. You can go for next line also. We will pass this string here as to the switch input, and we need to change here. Case names will be in the string format, that is add. Okay, now it can be in smaller cases also. So what we will do, string has the method. ठीक है, अगर आपको ये cases आपने यहाँ पे add दिखाया, that doesn't mean that user will enter everything in the uppercase. Characters, not every time it will be in the uppercase. It can be in lowercase also. Any one of it can be in lowercase or uppercase. Any combination is possible, right? So that's why whenever you are storing the string or taking the input into the string, we will directly convert it into lowercase so that it will be easy for us to perform the operations add. Okay, so we don't need multiple cases. In that case, we can simply create in this way. Okay, so we are using string classes, two lowercase method to convert whatever the input user is giving, that should be converted into lowercase, and that is stored into the string variable. And this string variable has the value for operation. Okay, so it can be sub, it can be add, anything. So I have shown you only one case here. You will add other cases like for here B, C, and D cases here, and for subtraction, multiplication, and division cases here in this switch case part. Okay, understood? Coming back to, I will execute this. Okay, first we'll enter two numbers. So here first input is integer type. So I will enter 1. This is the addition. After that, I am expecting input as character. So you can see as a user, I can see this ABCD. So I can understand that I want to enter ABCD. So I will enter A. We are getting the same output. After that, we are shown the third menu item, जहाँ पे हमने दिखाया है कि we need to input some string data, right? So it can be add, sub, multiplication, and division. So I am using add. So the combination of anything is there. It can be anything. Okay, the combination of add is this, uppercase and lower cases. But when we are taking the input, we are converting this complete input into the lowercase and storing it into one string variable. So that's why your addition case gets executed successfully. Okay? So what happens in the switch case? Whatever the input you are giving, appropriate matching case directly gets executed, and it will not इसमें हर एक कंडीशन चेक करने की जरूरत नहीं होती है बेसिकली, because in the if else if statements what happens, you have to check each and every condition and then execute appropriate case, right? But here in the switch case, matching case gets executed immediately. You don't have to check each and every case. Once that case gets executed, it will stop checking for the next cases. Okay, here if you miss giving the break statement, what will happen? It will, जब तक वो break statement occur नहीं होता है, तब तक वो execution start रहेगा. Now you can see here we are getting two outputs, addition also and subtraction also, because in case 1 I have missed break statement. Okay, so that's why after execution of case 1, it is the compiler is executing case 2 as well. After the case 2, we have given the break statement. That's why the execution stopped here. Otherwise, it will go on executing until it stops, until it gets the break statement. ठीक है, जब तक break statement नहीं मिलेगा तब तक वो execution करते जाएगा जितने भी cases हो. You can write down multiple cases here in your program. Okay. Now here I am expecting character data. Suppose you enter something different. अभी इसके लिए मैंने default case नहीं लिखा है. That's why we are not getting any error message. It is going to it is executing the next line of code, that is sequential execution के हिसाब से next menu दिखा रहा है. Here also if I enter something wrong, then the program is terminated because we have not written default case for this switch case also, and it is not showing you proper error message that you have entered wrong input. You need to enter or select correct operation, select choice, whatever you want to give, that needs to be even. Okay, clear this switch case, how to give different types of cases, how to give different types of inputs. Understood that? Any doubt? So जैसे integer values लिए हैं, वैसे ही आप बाकी के float, boolean, byte वगैरह सारे type के values input करके ले सकते हो. We have seen the use of next also. We have seen the use of caret also. Okay, so this is string inputs. Okay, so the string inputs, whenever you are using the string inputs, you are showing the user that you are expecting string inputs. At that time, what happens? User may enter in any cases. The data can be in any cases. It can be in uppercase, lowercase. Any character can be in uppercase, any character can be in lowercase, right? So for all the cases, we cannot create different types of cases like this. क्योंकि यहाँ पे characters हमने create किया, we know that characters can be in the uppercase or in the lowercase in two different forms itself, right? So for this add, user may enter A as the capital case, that is uppercase, D as a small case, D as a uppercase letter. Okay. Again, for the next time, it may enter A as a small case, D as a uppercase, and D as a uppercase also. Okay, so that can be multiple combination of this add word, right? So we cannot create the multiple cases for this. So whenever you are expecting string input, we mostly convert that complete string input into the lowercase or uppercase, whatever you want to use. Okay, so we are using two lowercase method of string class to convert that input into lowercase. So it will be easy for us to develop or to create a case based on the lowercase characters, lowercase string data. Okay, so you have to create only one case for that. Okay, at a time, we only create one case. Case cannot be duplicates. Okay, case names cannot be duplicates. Case names are always unique. Clear? Jyoti? Any more doubts? Okay. So you can convert this into uppercase also and create the case based on uppercase also. Okay. So here we have seen different ways to take different types of inputs as well as different ways to create switch cases. Okay. So always remember that whatever user sees, it only selects from that data. ठीक है, जो भी यूजर देखता है उसी में से डेटा सिलेक्ट होता है. तो आप जो यूजर को दिखा रहे हो एज अ प्रोग्रामर, यूजर विल गोइंग टू सिलेक्ट फ्रॉम दैट इटसेल्फ. So remember, the menu and appropriate input case should be there. If you want to see the scanner class content, just write down when you create the object of the scanner class, just use your control button on your keyboard and the cursor, use the scanner, click the scanner class, you will be able to see all the details of the scanner class. Okay, but this is only possible if you have already explained in the first session itself. If you have added the source code of your JDK, then only you will be able to see all these .class files. अगर आपने नहीं किया है, then you will not be able to do that. You have to first add the src zip from your JDK installation, and then only you will be able to see all these classes. Okay. Now coming back to your this part. Okay, next line. When we have used next line, it stopped working. The program stopped working with the exception. Why it is giving exception? Because after the next int, it always, I will execute and then I will explain. When we are entering any value, okay, after that we are clicking on the enter, or you can say you are pressing the enter key on your keyboard to show the next line of code. Okay, so that enter key, when you press the enter key, it has a code, right? And that is considered directly as a string here with the next line method, and it tries to convert that enter key value into the integer. That is why we get the error. Okay, so अगर आपको करना है तो सारे inputs you can use in this way. Next line, you can use all the way only this way, that is next line method, and parse that string into appropriate data type. It can be byte, long, int, double, anything. ठीक है, सारे जगह पे next line use करो and उसको parse करो, या फिर whatever you are using, just keep using it. Or the other way, if you want to use this, the other way is just add one input dot next line here skip that line, basically using this next line method. Okay, just skips the current line, skips the current line for taking input. ठीक है, सब skip करेगा, and then whatever the next data you are entering, that will get displayed here. Okay, let's try this. Execute. Okay, let me check first. It is terminated. Okay, it was not terminated. I will terminate this by clicking here. Now we will execute the program again. Enter the first number 14. Now you can see it is executing successfully. Why? Because we have skipped the current line, the enter key. Whenever you are pressing the enter key, it will convert that enter key as read that enter key as a string data. So we are skipping that part, and we are telling the compiler to read the next line of code. Okay. So you can see if I enter 5, we are getting the default case. Okay, all these are terminated. Clear? Understood the switch case statement, different methods of scanner class, and how to use it. Clear hai? Any doubt in this? Anyone? Okay. So with this, we have completed your module 4. We will continue with the next module, that is module 5, where we are going to learn array and enumeration. Okay, that is nothing but enums. So we will simply just see the overview of this. Okay, so these are all non-primitive data types. We have seen the primitive data types, wrapper classes, everything in the module 3. In the module 4, we have seen all the operators, different statements, decision statements, and loop statement, switch statement. Now then in the module 5, we are learning non-primitive data types, arrays, and enums. So there are two types of non-primitive data types. First one is the derived data type, and second one is the user-defined data types. Arrays are derived data types. Okay, so arrays are nothing but if you want to store multiple data in a single variable, so similar type of data basically, then we can use arrays. There are two types of arrays, one-dimensional and multi-dimensional, but we mostly prefer two-dimensional arrays. Okay, user-defined data types are enums. So enums are nothing but similar to the classes, but when we know all the possible values, जैसे कि you know that card has a 52 cards itself. ठीक है, ना एक भी ज्यादा नहीं होता है, एक भी कम नहीं होता. Similarly, there are only 4 types of cards. So these are, you know that all the possible values, right? So that time we go for the enums. We are going to perform the operations on the enums also. Okay, we will see practically how to create enums, how to create arrays in the next session. And user-defined data types, we have classes. That will be the next part. In the next module, we are going to learn classes and objects. Okay, so class is nothing but a logical blueprint. You can say it is like a template. We are creating template for our object. Clear? So all these we are going to perform in the next session. For today, we are going to end our session for today here itself. So with the switch cases and scanner inputs. Any doubt? Yes, you will get on the group, WhatsApp group itself. Okay. In this week, you may get at least 2 to 3 modules. Okay. Any other queries, anyone? So I have already submitted some assignments, uploaded some assignments. Go through the assignments, complete the assignments, and upload it. If you have any doubt in that, you can always ask. Okay then. Thank you, everyone. Ma'am, we will end our session.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.